Thank you so much, Chair. General, please be very concise and to the point. I don't have much time. During your time as head of crime intelligence, how many drug cartels have you dismantled and identified?
I cannot have the exact figure to give, but in terms of our annual performance, we have those figures we can supply.
Just more or less, how many have you identified and successfully dismantled? Because as things stand, it's as if these drug cartels are operating forever and a day in this country.
Yeah, I will say plus minus 11 or 12 per year. It's not easy to sum up my performance, as I've indicated, and I remember that basically one can say I was able to operate for 1.5 years, and then this disruption came. But we were making some inroads with our takedowns that were seen on the news, hitting the drug post, hitting the intercepting the drugs as they go in and out of the country. But I cannot be able to give the exact number.
Are you able to give us an exact estimate on successful prosecutions of these drug busts that you've taken down?
Also that in most cases, the prosecution will take a very long time because looking at my time as it started in 2023. So the takedowns and the arrests that were effected at the end of those projects towards the end of 2023, those cases, most of them are supposed to be still under prosecution.
Okay. Now, this Jerry character that everyone seems to be crying about, he was a drug dealer, right? Not even a drug dealer. He was a drug manufacturer. He was a drug kingpin in South Africa. He was probably part of a cartel. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Were you investigating him? Were you aware that he's a drug manufacturer, or did you only learn this after his disappearance?
Honorable Member, that is part of the information that maybe I feel that the platform is not suitable for me to clearly explain as to the drug cartel involving Ket Matlala and his role, and as to the reasons why he suddenly came up to the level where he is now.
Okay, so basically, because when we asked Mr. Matlala if he was involved in drug trafficking, he said no, only his friend was involved. So you've just clarified that to us today. So he too is involved in the distribution of drugs in all our communities.
That's correct.
So we lied again.
That's correct, Honorable.
Okay. General, also, you know that Gauteng is a hotspot for drug trafficking, okay? Considering your allegation that nearly the entire SAPS in Gauteng is captured by these cartels, I want to ask about an incident that happened in July 2021. I think it was in Aeroton. You mentioned that yesterday that there was a JMPD officer that was also part of the cartel in Cat and Sibiya's corner. There was also a JMPD officer that was caught on that day with SAPS members when they had offloaded their truck and on their way off, and it was intercepted by other SAPS members. This JMPD officer that was on this scene, because it was millions of rands of drugs, has he been arrested? Is it the same JMPD officer?
No, it's the second one. But the investigation, it includes even that incident.
Okay, so the investigation includes the Aeroton incident, and that wasn't the first Aeroton incident, it was the second one.
Not the only one.
It's not the only one.
Yes, Honorable.
So you're saying that Mr. Ket Matlala, Jerry, everybody, they all linked?
That is the investigation that we're busy with, as I've said. As and when the time is right, one can come back and give a feedback in terms of where we are now in terms of it.
Because as I'm connecting the dots, this stretches to the Durban Harbour where a container was found with cocaine worth, I think 500 million or something to that, and then the second one again. And I'm looking at the people that you mentioned yesterday and this drug bust, it's all linked, and I cannot help but wonder, has any of these people been arrested?
Yesterday, Honorable Chair, I touched on the way our operation was disrupted when we started on the 6th of December. So one will be maybe in a position then to refer to all the names that are under investigation if then we were not disrupted in terms of our plan of these takedowns regarding this whole drug cartel investigation.
Have you alerted the JMPD MMC in Johannesburg? Are you working closely because these are his members?
That is correct. Then the reports did go to the office of the MMC as well as the commissioner of police then in Johannesburg.
Feroz Khan, is he part of the cartel?
It's those types of questions that I'm not at liberty to answer with a yes or no, honorable member, based on the ongoing investigation.
Is Sibiya part of the cartel?
Unfortunately, I'll give the same response, honorable member.
Okay. So I guess this is why SAPS is going after Tolani Kumalo in Gauteng, because he's dismantling their operations in Gauteng. Because if we have no one that's attending to the drug issue in our country, and we have ordinary citizens acting, and now they must be handed, give themselves up for dismantling these operations. Is that fair?
If it's true, it's not fair, honorable member. We need to work together. We are clear in terms of the effects of drug or availability of drugs within our communities. Hence, we believe that with this project, we will be able to make a difference.
And then also going back to your statement that the entire SAPS is captured, I also know that there's been so many irregular appointments in SAPS, and you briefly touched on it yesterday. Is it also part of your responsibility to look into these matters?
One of the responsibilities of the division is to protect the SAPS against any harm. So the irregular appointments are meant then to harm SAPS. Hence, then we are part of the vetting process before the appointments are finalized.
I want to ask you, did you vet General Fani Masemole's nephew that is working in his office? Are you aware that he has family members working in his office? Are you aware that Fani Masemole's right-hand, General Mosekile, has her daughter-in-law, has her daughter working all in the same office?
No, I'm not aware, honorable member.
Okay, so I put it to you that General Mosekile, are you aware that she was also embroiled in a macro incident?
We have the report that talks to that, but again, it's not a matter that we can discuss as it's still under investigation.
Because the reason why I'm saying and mentioning the irregular appointments, because if it's one big family affair in SAPS, this is why we have the entire SAPS captured. Because it's a family affair. And this is why we have drug cartels that continues to make inroads in our communities, because no one's prepared to speak out, because it's a family affair. It's right starting from the National Commissioner's office. So that's where we have to start. You cannot have sons, daughters, and nephews working in the offices of national commissioners that hasn't been interviewed, that hasn't been vetted. You are the head of crime intelligence. What are your plans to deal with this crisis in SAPS?
what is contained in my statement, that was only referring to the division crime intelligence, the subset large, and then there are plans that are in place then for a team that will be inclusive of our counterintelligence and vetting sections in terms of identifying all those challenges or threats and deal with them then the correct way.
I want to go back to this question, and I didn't want to belabor this point because it's been asked by my colleagues. From the pool of SAPS members with your analysis and intelligence identified as working for or with these cartels, how many to date has been arrested?
Can I request that the Honourable Member repeat the question?
Right. The pool of SAPS members that your analysis and intelligence has identified. So your analysis has identified that there's a pool of SAPS members working with cartels. To date, how many has been arrested?
In terms of this particular investigation, one can say we have one so far, and as I indicated, the whole plan of the project was really disrupted from the 6th of December when we were starting with these takedown operations to dismantle the cartel from within and outside SAPS. But we have investigations that are complete, others are almost complete, and then we are continuing with the project.
How many has been suspended?
I won't be able to give the number, Honourable Member, as that falls outside my scope. Then the Divisional Commissioner, Human Resource Management, will be the one that can be able to give those.
Do you know how many has been subjected to internal disciplinary processes?
I know that there is a process that had started, but still the statistics are with the respective division.
General, I want to ask in closing, do you think that your department is adequately capacitated to deal with the drug cartels and the crime in South Africa?
At the present moment, I can confirm that we are not capacitated at the level where one would wish. It's a pity that then there are these challenges that we come across as we embark on the capacitation of the environment, so as then we are able then to be at the level where we can deal with organized crime. I explained yesterday, Honourable Member, that maybe the obsession and the focusing on the PKTT is what makes us maybe lose the focus. I was trying yesterday to bring forward the methodology instead of the name that makes us then maybe associate it with the faces of whoever is. There are lots of plans that are included in my affidavit that are implemented by SAPS. And I indicated that this methodology has been approved at different levels for it to be implemented. So it needs just the capacitation. Yesterday, I referred to it as a will from different levels, so as then we can be able to do what we are supposed to do in terms of drug trafficking and usage thereof in our country.
The reason why I pose that question to you, because for as long as we don't conclude on all of these investigations, our country remains under threat by the likes of Ministers General Sibiya and Kat Matlalas. So it's important for us to know whether, and also in terms of our recommendations that we meant to do after this report, it's important for us to understand the state of that department. That is very, very important. You agree?
I do agree, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair.